What's happening, people? So, the bio underground, as I'm calling it, um, yeah, kind of just a reference to the movement towards enhancing humans biologically. Um, to go back a bit, when I was young, there was a lot of talk about the problem of hardware in creating artificial intelligence. Um, and there was a really, I remember, a really big push towards an organic solution, using chemicals and um, not a machine. It was not a machine. There was this idea that machines were machines and silicon and man-made materials. They were just not complex enough to reproduce the brain or to create any kind of artificial consciousness. Um, I think that, like, I don't hear much about that anymore. An organic solution to AI. Um, yeah, so the pendulum has definitely swung back to, um, at least popularly, the idea that um, something man-made um, is capable of producing consciousness. Um, so I think at the heart of AI, the quiet heart of AI, there is an effort towards enhancing our biology, specifically the human brain. There is that kind of contest between enhancing humans and creating something separate from humans. And I think with the natural ego of us, that our natural ego, it kind of it allows us to create something separate, the idea of creating something separate and to not see the consequences of that, and also the idea of just enhancing ourselves and improving and becoming superior and um, overcoming some of our weaknesses. I think where, back to the underground biological enhancements, where it remains popular is the use of performance enhancing drugs. There's been a lot of experimentation, certainly, and a lot of popular kind of mainstream discussion um, in recent years, kind of the presentation of results and ideas and recommendations um, surrounding which kind of legal and not so legal drugs will effectively enhance mental functioning and physical functioning as well. Very few of those are from rigorous scientific testing. It's kind of like folk psychiatry, um, which tends to produce results that are often very individualistic and unverifiable, and you get these extremes of this will do this amazing thing to your body. So we're talking about gains in focus and memory and sleep and strength. There's also with those things, gains in memory and focus. There's the university drug scene with Ritalin and other drugs that is so popular. It's massive. So the concern is not some kind of collective gain and collective improvement. Rather, it's individual. It's I need to be better. I need to do my job better. I need to win. I need to beat the other person. And often with that goal, with that purpose of me first, and to beat the other person, it's whatever works, I will do. Whatever works right now, I will do. And that is, in many ways, the philosophy of this kind of bio underground. I think paths have definitely been chosen or just carved out naturally through momentum in the artificial intelligence field. And I think the path of biological enhancement has fallen by the wayside. as far as the mainstream of artificial intelligence goes. I mean, I'm sure that there's people doing a lot of work somewhere, but you don't hear about it, and that's not where a lot of the focus is. Um, so that doesn't mean biological enhancement and improvement will just fall away and die. What happens, and what happens with artificial intelligence itself as a field, is it kind of goes underground. It becomes a niche field, and a niche field these days can be quite big. And I think this bio underground is an example of that. I also think it's on the edge of some massive changes with new tech like VR and brainwave monitoring and things like this. This new tech and the fact that this tech is going deeper and deeper into ourselves. That tech will undergo, I think, many iterations, and the biological will kind of partner with some of this tech that's coming out now. So it's not going to be so isolated. It's not. It's likely to develop in partnership with aspects of technology, which is inevitable and natural. I think in many ways there's been an ethical choice that's been made to avoid this kind of experimentation. I mean, so, the scientific research has always avoided experimentation on humans for good reason, of course, but it does lead to some serious limitations. For example, it is extremely difficult to find really good in-depth studies, long-term studies on steroid use. And yet steroids are just so extremely popular, and so a part of culture, Western culture. So it's unfortunate, certainly, and it's kind of strange that there is so little scientific evidence behind something that is so common. Yeah, so this reluctance, this ethical decision has pushed the practice of biological enhancement to places where the ethics are different, often just to an underground kind of alternative culture in a way, and also to other countries. I think Brazil is massive for kind of medical experimentation. India also, and this underground will only expand. I think there's a lot of value there, and I think the mainstream will only be too happy to allow it to continue, to be outraged at times, and to try and put their ethics on it at times, and to have scapegoats and whatnot, but for the most part to allow it to continue and to reap some of the rewards that come from this trial and error, this experimentation on humans. So, yep, it's an interesting thought, interesting topic. I don't know too much about it because I haven't done much myself, but yeah, I think it's going to be huge. It will continue to expand and grow. All right, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.